Hey everybody, welcome back to another video on Age of Wonders 4. This is on the second dev diary discussing affinities that sits at the heart of Age of Wonders 4. It's kind of one of the major systems. So we're going to read through it today. If you missed the first one, go check that out and make sure to subscribe for more Age of Wonders 4 content coming over the next few months and throughout the rest of the year. So yeah, let's get into it. So this is about affinities, one of the systems that sits at the heart of Age of Wonders 4. Each affinity represents an archetypal cosmic force that defines the type of magic you can use, the elemental forces you control, and the type of society your faction has. There are 6 affinities, but today we're going to mostly be talking about order, which is the power that brings structure to the cosmos and the lives of mortals. So it's associated with light, faith, justice, and the government of empires. In gameplay terms, it has a focus on diplomacy, healing, and city stability. So when you define your faction's affinity, you do that by choosing a culture trait and a society trait, and that represents who you are before you take control of them, and mostly only affects your starting unit. So after, I guess it'll affect, something later, but mostly what you do at the start of the game is what it really will affect, and then you can shape yourself from there. There are 6 cultures in the game, and one of the most strongly associated with order is the High Culture. Here we see some High Culture elves, standing in the Mage Haven, preparing to tread onto a new world. Order is associated with spirit damage, a type of holy energy that is particularly effective against the undead. High Culture's defining feature is that their units can become awakened, allowing them to channel spirit damage to their physical attacks. After choosing your culture, it's time to choose society traits. These traits represent the general philosophy your people follow, as well as how they live and govern themselves. Each of these is associated with an affinity, and I've listed a couple of the order traits below. So we have Chosen Uniters, which you can strive to build around based on cooperation, but will not hesitate to defend it. So you gain plus 20% income from vassals. Shield units have plus 1 rank, and you get plus 10 alignment. And you start with an extra shield unit. And then you have stuff like Devotees of Good, Imperialists. Let's look at Imperialists. They are focused on the glory of the empire and the development of their cities. You gain plus 2. Throne cities gain 2 Imperium for each city structure that generates city stability. And your capital city starts with a vendor and a shrine. So next up, we have tomes. They are the final and most important aspect of your faction's affinity. There are 9 tomes of order in Age of Wonders 4, leading your empire down a path of righteous and lawful domination. So you have the Tome of Faith in this one, which gives you Faithful Whispers, the Chaplain, the Wrath of the Faithful, Staves of Mending, Army Heal, and Convent, which gives you plus 2 Order Affinity, the Abbey, and Mending Touch. The Tome of Faith, we just read through that. We have the Staves of Mending, which was right here, and it gives you it's a unit enchantment, which gives you Faithful and Mending Touch. You have the Chaplain, which is the special unit you get. Powerful healing unit who can bless units to boost their combat prowess. You can grant Faithful and Mending Touch once again. You have the Convent, which gives you plus 5 knowledge and plus 5 mana for each city's stability level above unstable. And you have the Tome of Subjugation, which gives you Subjugating Raid, Tyrant Knight, Final Ultimatum, Baron's Palace, and Intimidating Order, plus 2 Order Affinity, the Seed of Order, and Terrifying Aura. Focus on the more repressive aspects of Order. The Tomes of Subjugation is a mid-game tome, focus on the domination and control of other races. So the Tyrant Knight, for example, is a shock unit. You have Final Ultimatum, which is this one over here. It's a skill level of 5, a debuff spell, and it inflicts base 90% chance of becoming permanently mind controlled. Alright then. If successful, you gain 60 morale. If resisted, the unit dies instead. Let's skip down to the Empire tree, which we kind of touched on last week. Until now, every choice you've made has granted affinity points to our factions. If we made a starting faction on High Elf Imperialist, we would have ended up with that. So what does that mean to us? Well, one system that is greatly affected by our faction's affinity is the Empire tree. It contains economic and social bonuses, and it's divided into 7 branches. 1 branch for each of the 6 affinities, and 1 general shared branch. Just each of these is the affinities, and that's the share one down there. I would assume. See, we have 6 order affinity. We can rapidly start unlocking skills from that part of the branch. It's focused on heavily on diplomacy and vassals, giving you skills such as those. So you have diplomatic channels. You have exemplar. You have the rally of lieges, the right of allegiance. And those are permanent upgrades. The tree also contains rights, which are one-off rewards you can trigger to help you out of a tough situation or to optimize a particular plan. The rights also grant you a friendship boost with every free city on the map, helping you vassalize them even faster. Alright. So basically, this means that we have enough, once we have enough research in our starting tome, we can pick a shadow tome, such as the Tome of Souls, to add a religious death cult field to our faction. That sounds fun. This will give us 2 points of shadow affinity that will give us, allow us to get skills such as the All-Seeing skill, which costs 50 Imperium. And it gives you free cities with a Whispering Stone assigned to instantly provide you with Vision Rain, as well as free cities or vassals with Whispering Stone assigned grant you 10 knowledge. So that's a brief introduction to the affinity system. There's a lot more to talk about here, and we'll talk about that more for release. Next week, we'll be talking about lore and story realms, so stay tuned. So yeah, a bit shorter than last week, but a lot to be excited for here. I'm happy to see some of the mechanics already being introduced. I will link the dev diary down in the description so you can go check it out for yourself. And yeah, that's going to do it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on it, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you next week for another Age of Wonders 4 dev diary. And go back earlier and check out Hi-Fi Rush episode 2. I'm doing that every couple of days now. So yeah, that's going to do it. I'll see you next time.